Good morning. This is Proper 27, or Ordinary 32, Year A. I'm Drew Downs, and this is my take on this morning's Gospel, Matthew 25, 1 to 13, the one about the bridesmaids. I want to point out and state the obvious that I really didn't plan this like weeks in advance. I just thought of it earlier today. But it seemed appropriate. I was supposed to record this morning. That was the plan. And the day got away from me, and here I am. It's now sort of the middle of the night. Family hopefully is all asleep now, and here I am with my lamp. It's not oil-based, it's electric, LED, but I thought it was funny. So anyway, the Gospel, bridesmaids, right? The easy reading is wrong. It doesn't work. Nothing about this works, right? Not the way we want to. Because if we see this as about the second coming, heaven after death, the perfect example of Christian community, all that stuff, then God is just some raving idiot, just a complete loon, right? Especially in light of everything that has been talked about up to this point. And see, the easy reading makes us think of really only two things. It directs us toward this. Like we're hurtling toward it like a meteor, right, at the earth. We need to prepare for Jesus or God to show up, right? Got to do it. Got to be prepared. Got to be better than everybody else. And second thing is we'll get judged as smart and stupid, with the smart people getting in to the heaven, I guess, and the stupid people getting left out. That's it, right? That's the totality of the easy reading. Does that even really sound like God? Does that make sense as the God we've been talking about throughout Matthew, throughout this entire year? Does it, from your own experience, does that even seem related to God at all? At all, right? It doesn't. And usually, and this is what I'm thinking when with outliers like this, instead of always sort of adjusting ourselves to think that, well, then this must be one of those few times that God, the judging God, shows up, and so we sort of, in our neck of the woods, gloss over it. But it's often an opportunity to say, well, maybe we're reading it wrong, right? If it doesn't fit, right? Maybe there's something about it that we're hearing that's getting lost in the translation. Maybe it's not actually God that's the problem with this. Maybe it's us, right? So let's deconstruct it a minute. What's going on in the story, right? The bridesmaids, they've got these lamps, right? There are 5 good ones who bring a lamp and a bunch of oil, and the 5 bad ones, right? The stupid ones, the foolish, who still bring a lamp, but they don't bring the extra oil. And they're sitting out there in the middle of the night, I guess, burning these lamps, waiting for the bridegroom. First thing, right? It's a bridegroom. It's the groom, and then the bridesmaids, right? There's 10 bridesmaids. If these are the closest friends and family to the bride, what the heck are they doing out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, when they're supposed to be at that celebration, at this big party that's supposed to be following the wedding, right? This is just, it seems strange. Like, this arrangement is strange. So they're out there in the middle of who knows where. The best friends are being ignored, and the bride doesn't come get them. It's the groom, right? This doesn't look like any wedding I've ever seen, right? You leave the wedding, easy. They all leave in limos, and everybody's cheering, and when the bridesmaids show up, this is when you know the bride and the groom are about to show up, and everybody can cheer them, and blah, 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 and the DJ announces them, and all that stuff, right? That's the wedding stuff. I know. I have no idea what's going on here, right? This is completely wonky, right? Cattywampus, as friends used to say. So we have this strange world, strange vision of them. So they're there, right? Here's the second thing. The definition of smart is bringing the lamp and the oil, and the definition of stupid is bringing just the lamp, right? what are they doing with lamps? I mean, this is the basic question. This is, for me, if this is about lamps, if this is about preparation, right, and preparing yourself, what the heck are they doing even having lamps to begin with? If they're waiting for the bridegroom, if they're trusting the bridegroom, why is the lamp even there? What's this about? I like to think, though, that sometimes we get stuck on something like it's a red herring. I feel like this is the red herring. The lamps are the red herring. Because the definition of smart and stupid isn't the ones who brought the lamp and the ones who didn't bring any lamps at all. The definition of smart and stupid is somebody who brought the lamp and the oil, and the one who thought enough to bring the lamp, but not enough to be there long enough. That's ridiculous. It doesn't seem to make sense at all. So this is what's going on. You have this weird relationship. You have this weird thing with the bridegroom, and then when the groom shows up, right? Shows up, and they're not there. The 5 foolish, stupid ones aren't there. And when they come back, he says, "Sorry, you weren't here. I don't know you." If this is the picture of God, then I don't want to be a Christian, right? I mean, this is absolutely crazy making, right? Well, what it reminds me of is that parable that happened just a little while ago. We covered it just only a few weeks ago. It began the exact same way. It says, it has Jesus saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like," and then he tells this picture that looks like a funhouse mirror, right? It's not the real picture. It's not what should be the picture of heaven. It's this strange, weird world, right? And in that previous example, it's the king, right? It gives this example of a kingdom, and it's a horrible kingdom. It's a horrible kingdom in which he demands that all of his close friends show up to his son's wedding. Then he kills them when they don't. They all ignore him. They all ignore his example, right? So he has them all killed. And he replaces them with people. And when one of them doesn't wear the right clothes, he goes and he throws the bum out. Right? This is this example. He uses the exact same opening with this one, and just like that one, I think it's actually an example of what we're not supposed to do. Like, it's this example of looking in the funhouse mirror, right? That this is not how we're supposed to operate. So that makes me wonder, what is the message here? What is it that we're supposed to take out of the story? The story in which the groom acts like a tyrant and refuses the people who were tricked out of showing up, and the people who tricked them get in. That seems backwards to the kingdom, right? That seems backwards to what we've heard about before. That it's about all this preparation rather than the generosity of God. These all seem backwards to me. So it makes me think that maybe the inverse is the real depiction, right? That the story is really the opposite. Just like with that one, that example of the kingdom is an example of what God isn't. For me, I think back, if I want a depiction of what kingdom of heaven looks like, I go back to what he calls the kingdom of heaven at the beginning of Matthew, in chapters 5 to 7, in the Sermon on the Mount. That makes sense. Like, all of that stuff sounds like Jesus, and this doesn't, right? This is different. So anyway, last thoughts. Go take a look at David Henson's blog. He's posted his sermon on this subject. I have a link, if you're watching this on my website. I have a link there, so click on it. And the other one is go check out Lauren Winner's reading at The Hardest Question. I have a link there as well. But that's all my thoughts for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and we'll see each other later. All right, bye. God bless.